My name is Tyson McGuffin. Welcome to the McGuffin Show, bringing you the best podcast in pickleball. Topics this week, we're going to be talking about results from Phoenix and Tampa PPA. Talk about some match stats that Mr. Loon showed on his social media page. Podium predictions for St. George coming up next weekend. And the new rule in which you should never line up on the wrong side. It's definitely helping me out, that's for sure. Mr. McKenzie, it's nice to have you on the left side of the court here. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, this is the one time Tyson lets me go ahead and play the left. You know, I kicked him over to the right side, so I'll be doing the heavy lifting on the podcast.
Right? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Cover the middle.
No, it's great. It's great to be here with the setup in your pad. I know my wife appreciates not having to scramble with me throwing all the technology aspect on her at home. So no, this is awesome. I'm excited to shoot from here. This is high level. Love it.
This is our first, I guess, showing at the new setup. I got my videographer looking at me right here, I guess looking into the camera. But anyhow, kind of cool. Just got this whole setup kind of put together the last couple days, and thought it would be a better way to kind of showcase the podcast and give you guys a better look. But so spent 2 weeks on the road. Was in Phoenix for a week, and then played the Phoenix tournament, taught a 2-day camp after with this gentleman, and then went to Tampa. I'm not gonna lie, Tampa. It was a small slice of what the U.S. Open's going to bring. It was like, I don't know, 80 or 85 hot. Degrees with 90% humidity. It was pretty brutal, and that was with the durable. I can only imagine what that stupid Franklin ball, and I say that with love, Franklin, what that Franklin ball is going to be like in Naples come April. And it's going to be a marshmallow, and it's going to be moving like molasses.
I'm not even sure how to simulate, with us being West Coast indoors and all that, how to simulate training. Even if we start using the Franklin ball here, I just have a feeling it's going to be so much mushier when we're in Florida, with the temperature and everything.
Very true.
It's going to be a unique U.S. Open this year.
I would say that the Franklin ball probably plays the best in temperatures of, like, let's say 40 degrees.
I agree.
Like 60 degrees. I agree. It's a perfect ball. It feels like a Dura when it's 70.
To me, I prefer using that ball than a Dura when it's cold because it doesn't break as much and it plays very similar.
Yeah, for sure. But didn't have a great 2 weeks, not gonna lie. Hurt this man's feelings a little bit. I told my wife she was at the Phoenix tournament, and not gonna lie, I did not see the podium on Friday, did not see the podium on Saturday, and definitely did not see it on Sunday. And so I just told her after I lost that I am not myself right now. So just give me a couple hours. You don't want this, Tyson. This is not the Tyson that you married. So just let me kind of chill for a couple hours. Anyhow, had a tough 2 weeks. Did not play well, unfortunately, in Phoenix. No disrespect to the people that beat up on me, so ended up playing Phoenix, taught a 2-day camp, and then we made our way over to Tampa. Tampa was a great time. Ended up showing up on like Wednesday night. Got some practice in Thursday with Frank Anthony. Played the event. Did not play well Friday, Saturday. Got my act together and played some halfway decent mixed on Sunday. Ended up taking a bronze with my girl Lee Waters. Shout out to Lee Waters. She played spectacular all day. But overall, I would say it was a nice little reality check. Last week that I've been home, I'm not going to lie, I've been very disciplined, been very dedicated, and went back to the drawing board a little bit. So always nice to be humbled, always nice to,
What's the first time you haven't made a podium?
For sure, yeah.
in a bigger event?
For sure, yeah.
It's probably been a couple of years, I would imagine, right? Because
you know what?
You've almost always been there, at least in singles.
Yeah,
right?
I think the last time I did not see the podium in singles was 2017 U.S. Open. So a couple years ago, not gonna lie, and actually, who I lost to in 2017, I ended up losing to Ben. Remember, I think I talked about this on the last podcast.
Okay, yeah. No, I remember.
So Ben, he was brand new and ended up losing to Ben in the.
And Ben eventually won it. Right? It was
correct.
Kind of his breakout tournament.
Yeah. Lost to Ben in the semis, and then lost to Rob Elliott. Oh yeah, I'm not going to mention that again. But lost to Rob Elliott, and pride was hurt. And that is the last time.
Rob's at home right now, just giving himself a little come on.
Oh yeah,
it's a good win for him.
Yeah, Rob Elliott obviously is the owner of Engage Paddles. Great guy. But,
and he beat some other pretty solid players. He got hot for a little bit.
For sure, yeah.
I've watched that match on YouTube. He's a shot maker. He can rip the ball off both sides.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Slapping it around.
Yeah, actually that tournament, or I guess that event, he ended up showing up late. He didn't play his first round match, so put him in the back draw. And back draw of U.S. Open, I mean, it's hot, and you're playing a lot of matches. He went all the way through, beat me, beat Lung in the bronze to take bronze.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Beat Lung too. Right after that.
Yeah.
Riding high.
Guy had a great day.
That's impressive because he was in his 40s at the time.
Yeah. And to even top it, he was joking around with me before the match, telling me how bad I was gonna beat him because he had been drinking. I'm not gonna use any bad words here, but he was drinking margaritas. The guy's in his 40s. Here I am.
He gave you the rope-a-dope.
God,
he lulled you to sleep.
I was 26 or 27, and the guy's been slamming margaritas, and he beats the shit out of me. God, it hurt my pride. I'm not gonna lie.
But that was the last time.
Yeah, that was the last time.
No podium. So let's talk real quick. I mean, I don't know if it's in the agenda, but we were chatting about this earlier, kind of about champions and how they take losses, how they win. I would say, to me, watching you, it seems like you're a pretty gracious winner. I would say you're pretty respectful and gracious when you lose, but I've hung out with you a bit. Seems like when you lose a match that you feel you didn't perform up to your caliber, it's a little bit more, and I think a lot of people are this way. You want your private moment, you want to internalize for a little bit. Have you always been that way with sports? Is that something that you've acted like more lately, or has it been kind of your whole life that's been your personality?
No, I think it was definitely coming into pickleball, having the success that I've had, and kind of setting a bar now.
Right.
And I personally feel like I've proven myself. I've been there. I've been there in the rankings. I've won majors. I always feel like I should be in the top 3. So when I'm not gonna lie, I have a hard time taking losses. Obviously, if it's a loss that I know that I could lose to, it's totally fine. But it's obviously much tougher to swallow a loss where I feel like I've won a high percentage of matches over that select team or over that select person. Hits home a little different. Yep.
I feel like, I don't know, just my opinion, I think most people that have the consistent consistent results, they set that expectation for themselves just like you do, right? Yeah. So I mean, yes, give credit to your opponents, when they're playing great, but just even as you speak now, you're saying like you feel that you should be a certain standard, right? Even as better players are coming in, there's more depth. This is what you expect out of yourself. And I think because of that expectation is probably why your results have been so consistent, right? Almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy a little bit.
I mean, if you don't believe it, it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it starts with the belief.
That little like birdie on your ear, those little demons telling you like you can't do it. You got to push that stuff aside, Right. And it's true. I mean, just like the last 2 weeks, I lost a little slight ounce of confidence, and all of a sudden, and that's all it takes. It takes just a little slight ounce, and it's funny
kind of
how
that snowball effect. Yeah. If that confidence is shattered just a little. It'll build on itself. And you
start second guessing your weapons. You start thinking about technique. You start thinking about things that like just don't normally come. And also too on the flip side, gosh, if you gain an ounce of confidence, where that can take you.
We'll see it with the runs. And momentum
for sure.
In a match, right? That's a reflection of confidence. You see how, you'll go stretches where it's side out, side out, side out. 6-7 times, and then somebody will get hot, whether it's doubles or singles, and 5 or 6 points will just get strung together just like that.
There's always like that one big point that you kind of get them
over the hump, right?
Talking about gathering some confidence and using it. take a look at Jay the last couple of weeks. Talk about a guy who didn't do a lot. Last year was took bronze a couple times at singles tournaments, and really starting to like take over with Pat. Play the left side, play a bigger piece of the court. Pat's probably playing 40% of the court, and he's been having good results in men's, good results in singles, good results in mixed, but the guy's definitely riding some confidence.
And I'll be honest, I'll be very frank. Like when Jay came on the scene, the first time I saw him was at World Pickleball Championship, not this one, but the one last year. And everybody saw the foot speed, the build. He's kind of got that prototypical athlete physique.
Sure.
He's like 6'2", he's a little bit thicker, more tree trunk legs, but he moves really well. But, after his initial, who's this guy? There was a lot of talk behind the scenes of, well, Jay's overrated. He's got a lot of ability, but he makes too many errors. People were saying, I feel like Pat's really the anchor of that team. Yeah, and I wouldn't say there's one shot. I wouldn't say there's one shot or two shots that he added to his game to be a different player. I think he started making less errors. Yeah. But like you said, I think it's more than anything, it's confident. He kind of figured out his own game. And now when we see it all coming together, I don't hear those whispers of Jay being overrated anymore.
And I think people believe that yes, Pat is a stud. Yeah. And Pat's got clubby hands, but who does most of the work?
Jay brings more variety
for sure, and he's using the two-handed dink. He can dink with one on the backhand side. He's starting to roll dinks out of the air. He can speed up from there.
He's countering spin, which is a subtle but really important thing, especially now at the pro level, to give you that edge.
Yeah, it's a tough team too, man. With Pat covering 40% of the court, Pat's starting to earn now, and Jay's kind of playing more of like a men mixed role kind of in that pairing. It's tough to go through Pat. Pat's got that clubby electrum that comes back in a hurry. I'm not going to lie.
You can't say enough about chemistry too. You can tell the guys, they enjoy each other's company, right? They like each other they stay together through the good times and the bad times. And
good guys.
They're a fun team to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely good guys. So let's see here. So kiddos. What's been going on with your kids? Anything new?
Yes. So I wasn't at the last two tournaments. Was teaching, traveling all over. I had to miss my older son's birthday. Felt bad about that, but my daughter and son have birthdays that are really close together, and so we kind of did like a combined party when I got back. My oldest daughter got her first bike. She was really, really excited about that. So we've been kind of doing the dad moment of taking her around the loop by our house and riding that fine line. We have to let him have enough leash to fall, but not fall too bad where you feel awful. So no, it's been that classic experience that you don't want to miss. So it's been great being able to be home for the last week and kind of make up for that time on the road. I don't know how you feel. I feel like travel, I enjoy it, but as a parent, it's difficult. You feel like you're missing out a little bit on some of those moments. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's always it's nice to be on the road. It's nice to get away and do what we do, but obviously always a pleasure coming home to the family and kind of having like that new effect of having seen it for a couple weeks, and you can get the most of your time. We have 3 kiddos, and I'm not gonna lie. We just found out, and I'm gonna show this right here.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet, but Meg is 10 weeks.
10 weeks. Congrats!
We have one more beauty on the way. Why not?
Are you trying to catch up?
I am. I'm trying to catch up with this, man.
All right, you're not allowed to go to 5. I'm supposed to be the one with a bunch of kids, right?
But Meg is just crushing life and being pregnant. All the patience in the world. Super excited. She's just obviously in that kind of phase of being sick and nausea and all that fun stuff. So hoping she feels better. She may obviously not be on the road as much. I don't think she likes that, but only one person can have fun. All right,
that's how nauseous and traveling. I just barely found out live, so congrats.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Kids are doing great. Skyman's in school, lives here in Coeur d'Alene, so they're in school full time. My little man Ty, who's 7, actually just went back to school this week. I actually have a funny story about Ty. I picked him up last night. from his mom's, and he was telling me all about school and was telling me that obviously he's having half days and he has to wear a mask. But he was saying that it sucks right now because with wearing a mask and half days, he doesn't get to play on the big playground. He has to play on the small playground, so he can't do any of his tricks because all the toys are in the big playground. And he's got a little crush on this on this girl, apparently, who gave him a kiss like 6 months ago. And he's upset because she's not at recess because they have select rotations. And, so he's got the small playground, and he can't see his crush.
Hashtag what, like 7-year-old problems.
Yeah, right. And then Banks actually just moved into her crib, so she's not in her snoo anymore. She's a blessing. She's nothing but smiles and personality, and really starting to find her voice. So life is good. I'm not gonna lie.
Awesome, man.
Life is good, but. I'm going to get my you-know-what together next weekend and burn that freaking place down, if you know what I mean. Let's see. There's a big fight card on tonight. UFC fights, probably the biggest fight card on pay-per-view for UFC. There's 3 title fights. I got myself a little Super Bowl tonight. So I'm going to watch that all night. Who
are you picking? Who are you picking in the title fight? So it's
Israel Adesanya and Jan. I can't pronounce Jan's last name. Jan is a gigantic, husky Russian man who is ready to eat. Even though he is the bigger guy, Israel's obviously bumping up from 185 to 205. He's looking to get his second belt. I want to throw my money on Adesanya because technically the guy he's just a savage, and he's able to find spots on people's faces where he can knock them out, or he can just with his placement of his punches, it makes it really technically savvy, if you know what I mean. Even though he is the smaller man, he's bumping up from 185 to 205. I would assume that he's going to get that W, but I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a dogfight. And then the next title fight is Amanda Nunes. She already has 2 belts. Nobody's beaten her. She's one bad chick.
Pretty big favorite in that one.
Very big favorite. Yeah, she's fighting a gal named Megan Anderson, who is pretty big and bad and scary as well. But I don't believe that she will do much in that fight. And then there's a bantamweight fight. Peter Yan, Russian dude, fighting Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain Sterling was an NCAA wrestler at University of Nebraska. He won a couple NCAA titles. This guy's a stud. In that particular fight, I have no idea. It's gonna be a tough one. But
pick 'em. It's a pick 'em.
It is a pick 'em. Anyhow, so we're gonna check out some fights tonight and hang out with the kiddos, and we got some playing in this morning. Kyle, Leia, Rafa, and myself. So it was kind of fun to get the gang back together.
Get the group. It's been a little bit with all of it's funny because we all are in the area, and we have Matt Goebbels as well, and we play as much as we can, but with as much travel as we're all doing and kind of different schedules, it's not as often that we can get all 4. So definitely want to maximize. We're playing again tomorrow morning. Get those drilling sessions in
for sure. Want to give a big shout out to the sponsor of the week. Sponsor of the week is Selkirk Sport. Obviously, I am based out of Coeur d'Alene. Kyle's based out of Spokane. Selkirk Sport is their headquarters is in Hayden, Idaho. I've been sponsored by Selkirk for the last 4 years. And I would say that they've been extremely loyal. They've definitely taken care of me. They've done a great job with their company. They make great paddles. I feel like taking a look at clothing in pickleball, they do a bit more, with the quality of clothing. They add some fun color, and taking a look at their marketing team and their brand and how they go about their social media pages, they do a very good job, and all their content's very professional. So can't thank those guys enough. I obviously have my signature paddle through them, my signature Invicta. If you guys have not gotten yourself an Invicta, go to selkirksport.com and buy one right now. It will change your life.
I'm obviously sponsored by Selkirk as well. Haven't been with them as long as you, Tyson, but kind of before I was sponsored and more of a pickleball fan, 5-0, but just only played a handful of tournaments. I really liked their marketing approach of helping pickleball be seen in the right light with the way they made their commercials. It was just they wanted to legitimize it more as a sport rather than just a backyard game. And I think they felt like, to me, like pioneers of starting to kind of plant that vision for people of how the sport could be seen. So I always was attracted to them for that. But yeah, great guys, family run company. I mean, they're really, we could sit here for hours just giving them compliments.
Rob and Mike have a little podcast, and it's called the Selkirk Insider. So if you guys want to tune into that or check that out, you can go to their Facebook page and check some of that stuff out. But be sure to follow those guys. You can follow them on Facebook or follow them on Instagram at Selkirk Sport. Okay, so taking a look at Camp Corner here. We had a great camp in Phoenix, ran a 2-day camp, Monday, Tuesday. We had 32 campers at the lovely JW Marriott. It's a terrible resort, terrible rooms. You know, it's not professional at all. It's a bad venue. No, I'm just kidding. It was a beautiful resort. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, the rooms were a tad bit too expensive for me to stay there, so I ended up finding a host family. But no, the resort is sick.
$600 or $700 a night.
Yeah, in that range. Yeah. It was pretty sick. But anyhow, the resort has fully embraced pickleball. PPA signed a contract with them, and I believe they're going to be running some events at that JW Desert Ridge facility. And yeah, great camp Monday, Tuesday. We had Kyle McKenzie teaching, Kami McGregor, John Sperling, Adam Stone. And yeah, we had campers kind of flying from all over, and had ourselves a good little time.
Just wrapped up camp. Really enjoyed myself. My knees are feeling it. Lots of good instruction, lots of fun. Instructors who had a different take, some different feedback, which was very helpful.
I just got done with the Tyson McGuffin camp, and I had a great time. I feel like I learned so much. I feel like we had 4 coaches in Tyson. I feel like I learned from each one of them something new, something different. I actually take lessons at home, but this was a different experience, and I feel like I learned things that I didn't even know at home too. So it was great. It was a ton of fun. I feel like I'll learn things that I'll take back at home, and I can kill it.
I came with a lot of bad habits, and those all got corrected. And it's pretty amazing what can happen to your game when a coach tells you just to change one little thing.
I had a great experience this year. I learned a lot about the power game. That's what I was here for. My wife came for the soft game. We love both of them, the coaches. Along with Tyson, were awesome. Really good advice, really good situational play. I definitely do it again. I'd recommend it for anybody.
Hey, I came to the Tyson McGuffin camp all the way from Oklahoma to Phoenix because I'd heard a lot about Tyson, and I heard a great amount of things about how great a coach he was and what great camps he has put on. I coached swimming for a number of years, and it's a great camp. His coaches that he brought together were amazing, and I learned a lot. I think anytime you're putting a camp together, you want to be able to split things out for the proper levels, and Tyson did a great job of doing that. Also, the thing I loved is he made sure everybody knew, hey, look at what you're trying to do. Just look at one thing at a time when you go back and put that in practice. So thanks, Tyson, for putting on a great camp.
I was so amazed when I did my last 2-hour coaching session at the end of the camp. All the issues that I thought I came in here with, she was like, well, you don't have a problem. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So I now understand the third shot drop like never before. I love all your coaches. And I love how you shuffled everybody around. We got to experience all the different things in pickleball camp. There's a lot of different levels here, but you handled it beautifully. And we could all be together, but not have to play against really, I'm a 3-5. I didn't have to play against a 4-5, which was really good for me. I learned a lot more.
Wow, I've just had 2 days of my first experience at Tyson's camp. It was profound. I'd never taken a lesson before, and doing this camp, I really feel my game has been leveled up to a higher level of play. We had phenomenal coaches and a real variety of coaches watching us play. It was great fun, lots of pickleball and lots of learning, and I'm really looking forward to going home and revamping and rereading the notes that we got before attending the camp, and also watching the video that we got sent before we came.
Oh yeah.
The night before the camp.
Didn't make a bit of sense to me. Now it does.
Now it makes total sense. So Jess was a great fun 2 days, lots of laughter, lots of sunshine, lots of skill, and just thumbs up.
Kyle, any notes or any?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll be controversial and just come out there and say it. We've all taught with people that just are not great in front of a group that might be fantastic players, and they may really know the game well, but to be able to articulate that message is a different skill set. I felt like between the 5 of us, it was as good a group with a blend of all being high level players, but really high level knowledge and a lot of experience. I mean, I know John you were mentioning, has kind of led a lot of camps himself. So from an experience standpoint, it was a lot of fun to be part of, just transferring that information to the campers. And I think it went really, really well.
And even though I love teaching with this man, and his new name is the Professor, by the way.
I'll take it.
This guy's very knowledgeable. He does a great job of kind of dancing around me as I teach. But it was a pleasure to get to work with famous Kimmy McGregor.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Top 80 in the world back in the day in tennis. She just wins countless triple crowns time and time again.
Right.
She's always on the podium. John Sperling, great to teach with that man. It was my first time teaching with him. The guy's a freaking stud. He's very knowledgeable, great with people, personable. Used to be the camp coordinator for Engage, so obviously knows how to lead. I would say out of all the pros that I taught with, he's definitely up there.
As far as rankings, I mean, I haven't looked at like senior pro rankings, but
he's a podium king.
I mean, if he's not number 1, at least in doubles, I'd like to know who is, because it seems like he's 1 or 2 in just about all the tournaments that I've been watching. So.
The podium king in 50 and under is Steve Deacon. The podium king in 50 above is John Sperling, baby.
Heck yeah.
Johnny. Taught with Adam Stone as well. Stone's a stud, very knowledgeable, does a great job. He taught college tennis at Tyler College. It's a D3 college in Tyler, Texas. And I would say definitely up there. Super knowledgeable, just like Kyle was an ex-professional poker player, tactician at heart. Understands the game very well. So it was cool.
I love teaching.
Cool to have these two junkies together. So next camp coming up is St. George on that Monday, Tuesday after the PPA tournament. We have partnered in with PPA, so we're running 6 to 8 2-day camps that are the Monday, Tuesday after the PPA events. And super excited to go to St. George. Never been to St. George. I've seen a bunch of photos. Love all that Red Rock scenery. Not gonna lie, it's been a pain in the ass to try to get a freaking place to stay down there, and it's been a huge pain in the ass to try to get a freaking car. But we ended up getting a hotel last night, got a car, booked through Delta. But and we actually flew into St. George. It's a bit spendier. St. George is pretty small
airport.
I believe most people are like flying into Vegas or
pay a premium to go direct.
Rafa's gonna fly into Vegas, gamble for a couple of days, and then make his way down.
That's the right way to do it, folks. If you're that close to Vegas, make it a trip. What the heck? Although right now with the pandemic, it might not be the real Vegas experience that we're used to. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, but if you guys want to sign up for a camp, we have lots of stuff going on in the month of March and obviously all year long. Be sure to go to TysonMcGuffin.com and get yourself registered for a camp. Let's see, YouTube Corner. We have some fun stuff popping up on the McGuffin Pickleball Club YouTube channel. So we're going to start with a 9-week fundamental instructional, piece. And that is going to start the week of March 22nd. Awesome. So basically for the first 5 weeks, we're going to talk about building a soft game. This is identical to my camp company on day 1 of the camp company. We talk about building a soft game. Day 2 is about building weapons. So weeks 1 through 5, the first week we're going to talk about lift dinks. Second week we're going to publish push slice dinks. The third week is going to be push topspin dinks, very specific. Fourth week is going to be third ball drop. Fifth week is going to be block volley. So in each week we're going to post 3 videos. So week 1, we're going to post we're gonna post a video of lifting, but there's gonna be 3 different segments. So there's going to be a video, or there's going to be drills and games for 2, 5, and 3-0 level. There's going to be drills and games for 3, 5, and 4-0 level, and there's going to be drills and games for 4-0 plus. So we're going to be very level specific with these videos. That way we can reach to all levels, and we can get touches with all levels. But so just so you're aware, so every week we're going to post 3 videos. They're all going to be level specific: 2, 5, 3-0, 3-0, 3, 5, 4-0, and then 4-0 plus. So they will have level specific drills and games. So that is week 1 through 5. Week 6 through 9 is building weapons. Week 6 is going to be ground strokes. 7 is going to be kitchen speed ups. 8 is going to be punch volleys, and 9 is going to be roll volleys.
Love it.
So
Love it.
Really high-end content. We're going to add graphics, make it visually pleasing for all those visual learners out there. But I would say this is like the first big rollout of our instructional piece from the YouTube channel. So make sure to tune in, and the very first week is going to be March 22nd.
And I like to think the videos are pretty unique compared to what's out there. Even when we're teaching a camp, right? Like when we're talking about, like you referenced, putting slice on your aggressive push stance or topspin.
Yeah.
I know, for me, when I'm teaching and when I'm leading, we'll get questions about that, but it's very challenging to go into depth and really spend a lot of time with the technique on spin when you're teaching to a group of 20 or 30 people that might be already more capable or less capable of being able to really understand it and implement it. So the nice thing about this open forum where we can go really in depth is it gives us a chance to really teach some of the inner workings of that skill. For sure. in a video format. So I would say, watching these videos, you can maybe even get more of a thorough explanation on some of the more nuanced skills that in front of a group, we just don't have the time to be able to go that in depth when we're trying to get to drills and we're kind of under the clock. So definitely a unique kind of rare opportunity to check out and add some of these higher level skills into your game.
Yeah, well said. No, that's exactly kind of what I was touching on. Kyle, unfortunately, will not be in the first 9 weeks. Doesn't mean that we're not friends, Doesn't mean that,
he
we're
gave
not,
me the boot.
Yeah, he's done.
He's like, your stuff's terrible.
Okay,
we're cutting you.
Guy treats me like shit. Okay, he's done. So the first 9 weeks, these are all little 10 to 15 minute videos that I've done. And then after those 9 weeks, we got about 60 to 70 common tendency videos that will have graphics. Kyle is in all those videos.
So I'm in there for the building weapons, but none of the soft game. What Tyson's trying to tell me is I still need to build my soft game. The weapons are there, though.
Okay, so topics. Results and experience from PPA Phoenix and Tampa. I would say obviously PPA did a great job with the tournament in Phoenix. They got plowed over leading up to the tournament. The mayor of Phoenix kind of shut everything down. They had to refund tickets. I have no idea what that number was like, but I believe it was in the maybe 20 to 40.
Lost a good amount of money.
It was a pretty big chunk of money. So they had to refund all that back. They're scrambling, trying to make everything work, trying to keep the players happy. But I would say with all that scramble and chaos, they did a great job. They pulled off a great event. I did not play particularly great. All good though. But yeah, Connor and Connor can't give those guys enough respect. Organization was great. Pickleballtournaments.com. Melissa McCurley, D. Davison did a great job of keeping the schedule going, keeping things on time and smooth.
Seems like they always find an awesome venue too. Seems like they've been consistent with that.
Yeah, was that the JW? Beautiful venue. Kyle did not play.
Nope.
You were teaching a camp.
I was teaching. Yeah, had a little teaching conflict, and unfortunately, that pays the bills better than me paying $400 or $500 to compete.
Good way to put it. Take a look. So Singles Day. Singles day, Simone killed it. Simone's a beast. I
Yeah.
mean, Triple Crown in Phoenix, Triple Crown in Tampa. I mean, the girl's done everything. And
She's
still
underrated to me tactically too. Like I know her abilities there, but
Girl's a fighter.
You know, when I'm geeking out watching the X's and O's, you can see the in-game adjustments that she makes, and she is one sharp cookie.
the end game adjustments. Tell the viewers what you mean there, because I think you're definitely
In-game
spot on.
adjustments, yeah. I mean, you can kind of tell, you know, if you're really studying a match, and I'm more watching some of her singles matches. She understands, you know, return and usually come to the net is a great way to put pressure on opponents. But if you watch her play somebody like Michelle Esquivel, who is known for having just some of the prettiest passing shots on both sides, but doesn't like to take the net herself. If you watch Simone play her versus, you know, some of the other gals on tour, she will return and stay back
Very calculated with coming
a
in.
high percentage of the
right.
time, you know, against Michelle, and make Michelle have to play a good enough point and eventually close the door by forcing her to come in. So you can tell the percentage of the times that she uses different tactics for different people. She's playing the player and not just being stubborn and playing one way herself. So I have a lot of respect for people that not only have the ability to play more than one style, but have the awareness in the heat of battle that, hey, maybe I need to go with a plan B or a plan C. She does that as well as anybody that I've seen.
Yeah, no, she played great. Benny crushed. Ended up beat Zane in 3 in the finals.
Yep.
Yeah. I ended up losing to Zane in the winners bracket semi. I think I racked up 12 missed returns. But
Tough way to get the job done, missing returns. in singles for
Kudos to Zane. Zane served super aggressively and was able not only just to serve aggressively, but followed up with a driving third.
Yeah, if it's not deep, you're going to be in some trouble.
For sure. Yep. And ended up losing to Jay after that. Kudos to Jay and Zane. Jay ended up taking bronze. Zane took silver. Zane gave Ben a nice little run for his money in the finals. It was in 3, so 12-10.
I believe so.
12-10,
Yep.
game 3.
Yep.
Yeah. Benny always finds a way. Guy's a stud. I mean, not much else you can say. And just like a Simone too, the guy's a tactician at heart. You take a look at the highest level. It's not people who are just talented. It's people who are very aware of their game, very aware of their identity, and they can make last second adjustments, or they can find a whole new notch of level when they need it. But that's what separates the men from the boys, and that's what separates Simone from the rest of the field for sure.
So I wasn't there in Phoenix, but I know some other guys like Quinn played in the event.
Yeah.
You know, with that Electrum paddle that definitely opens up some opportunities. Did you feel like it seemed like there was a really big draw? Did you see any guys, maybe that looked like, a couple years could really add to that depth? Because I mean, it wasn't that long ago. Jay and Zane were part of that group of, I would say, 5 or 6 guys that on a given day they could maybe challenge you and Ben for a game and a half, but it was they were a long way from being able to get over the hump and be able to get victories against you guys. Do you see that depth expanding? Have you seen
for
any
sure
people?
For sure.
Yep.
I think 2 people obviously that have been very consistent all of 2021 is Zane and Jay, but really anybody outside of that, Deckel, Gabriel.
Yep.
But in singles, it's more of a toss-up than men's and mixed, right? For
no,
sure.
It is. I mean,
anybody
the streaks can be bigger. That's why it's been so incredible, your level of dominance along with Ben, because and somebody can get hot for 5 or 6 points and you hit 5 good returns and you don't even touch the ball.
I'm down 0-9 to Eden, and I hadn't even freaking served it, and the guy's slicing me up and stealing my lunch money.
Right. To me, I think you referenced it though. I think if there's 2 other guys to me that are kind of in that depth, they've been pretty consistent. They can have flashes of pushing you guys, would be Gabriel. Joseph and Baby Curios, Deckel for sure, but I was going to say Sherry. Sherry took a game. I believe he took a game off Ben when they played. And I think that's the first time they played. So I think he took Ben to 3. I think that was in Phoenix. I could be mistaken. But it seemed like some other guys are starting to play him a little closer.
For sure.
It's fun to see. It's good for the sport.
I take a look at gender dubs. Simone and Luce killed it. They ended up. let's see, they ended up playing Catherine and Callie.
I think it was
Catherine and Callie,
Catherine and
and then the same final in Tampa. The Waters didn't place. Waters ended up taking fourth. The Waters ended up losing to Leia, who's our girl, Lauren Stratman. I believe that's Leia's. That's not her first medal.
She's had a bunch in singles, but in women's
that could
doubles,
be her
I'm not
first.
sure if she's been on the podium on a big event like that yet.
Right,
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more to come, but that might have been her first one.
So, women's side, kudos to Simone and Lucy. Obviously played very well. On the men's side, crazy freaking day. Riley and I ended up losing to Jay and Pat. It looked like Newport all over again. We ended up losing to Jay and Pat in the same match. Go in the back draw, battle our way through, beat everybody in the back draw. Play Ben and Colin. Not gonna lie, this match freaking took the heart out of me.
And I only saw the scores, so I didn't see any of the back and forth. But I figured there was a bunch of drama.
Played Ben and Colin. Not gonna lie, I've never had this many match points, and to get slapped in the face and lose the match, it sucks. But
what was the final?
So Riley and I were up. It's and like at this time of the day, I mean, God, it's blowing 40 miles an hour. It's cold. I mean, the conditions were not ideal. But we ended up we're up 14-10, and we ended up losing 17-19. We had 8 match points. Took my heart out of my chest and kicked it over the fence. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a heartbreaker at any stage, any level.
And I mean, no disrespect to the teams that placed, but I'm pretty sure that match was the finals. On that given day, with Riley and I's level getting better, I had finally like found a level that was decent enough to like put us back in the medal matches. And we ended up losing that match 17-19. Ben and Colin ended up winning the bronze medal match, and then get this.
I did watch this.
Yeah, this is how much of a stud Ben is. It was scary. Jay played well. Pat played well.
Yeah.
And Colin played well as well. But it was a tight 3 games. Ben and Colin ended up fighting off 3 or 4 more match points after 8 against us. And this is why Ben is the best in the game. They're down 9-13, gained to 15 after they just fought off a couple match points. They're down 9-13, and I remember like at like 9-12 or 9-11, Ben ends up like missing a roll volley up the line. Jay and Pat score a point, and I'm like, I don't know, at that given time, like Ben never misses roll volleys. He tried to speed up, he missed one, and so it looked like he was kind of down and out, and I'm like, well, shoot, I mean, what's going to happen here? And I should have never counted that man out. They basically went on a 6-1 run and ended up winning 16-14, and I'm not going to lie, Ben slowly slid over Colin, took about 80% of the court. Colin was there to Ernie, Colin was there to dink a little bit. But Ben basically beat those 2 gentlemen by himself, and I mean, something that I referenced when I played Adam Stone and Steve Deacon at the APP tournament. Same deal. Andre and I, we ended up winning 12-10 in both games. Game to 15, we're down 3-11, and at that point, I'm like, you know what, like, I'm going to be the guy. I'm going to try to take over. I'm going to see what happens. But I feel like I'm playing well enough. I'm confident enough to like take over the court and see what I can do here. And I guarantee that was sitting in Ben's head as they're down 9-13. And the guy, I mean, just freaking took over and took over at a very high level. And I talked to Jay and Pat the following day. And Jay and Pat told me that their level didn't drop at all. Right. It's just that's a man who is on a mission to freaking cause havoc. And be a bully, if you ask me.
Yeah. It looked like to me, because I was watching the live stream at 13-8, 13-9. He did consciously look to implement himself more, redline his game. He was driving and just crashing, looking to clog the middle.
6-1 run like that.
It's a good kind of good little educational match for all of us. How often, for all of us in the pickleball world, we lose a match or we don't perform that well at a tournament, and we're like, man, I just couldn't get involved. They're isolating my partner so much, and we blame other people. All these things we don't have control over, right?
It's never us.
We ask ourselves in our game, do we have the kind of weapons that if we needed to do we have the ability to take over and insert ourselves and take a little bit more risk? Because just staying on your side and dinking isn't going to do it if they're not hitting you the ball. So what sort of weapons or aggression do we potentially have in our game if we need to pull that out? Clearly it can be done at the highest level, so it's possible.
Yeah. And something that helps when you're down like that. Something that helps when you're down like that is when you have that 3-ball combo of you can bang the serve, you can drive the forehand, and you can crash. I'm not going to lie. When you're down 0-6 or you're down 9-13, it makes life a heck of a lot easier.
You still have the belief.
Well,
right?
just like it's, and I think we've talked about this before, but it's tough to come back from matches when you don't have offense.
Right.
It's
a long, grindy,
it's
clean match you've got to play.
You have to expect that like their level's going to drop a little bit versus just taking it into your own hands and saying, "Hey, I'm the guy. You're gonna choke on.
You're gonna have to go through me."
Yeah. Yeah, guy's a stud. And mixed. Let's see, mixed. Simone and Ben were rocking and rolling all day. Riley and Lindsay ended up taking bronze. Lucy and Matt ended up taking silver. So I ended up playing with Lee that day, and I would say our best win of the day was over Terashenko and Mr. Dawson.
Okay,
but yeah, it just wasn't a great day for us. I would say that we played much better in Tampa.
And you lost to Matt and Lucy in the winners bracket? I'm trying to remember.
No, winners bracket we ended up losing to. Yeah, sorry, Matt and Lucy. Yep,
okay.
Yep. And then ended up losing our next one. But okay, so Tampa results. Let's see here. Like I said previously, Tampa was hot. I mean, it was nice. It was nice to feel that heat coming from Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix was nice, but it was pretty windy. Anyhow, we played at a tennis facility, actually right across the street from. What's the Tampa? What's the Tampa Bay's
the
stadium
Bucs
called?
Stadium? I'm not sure.
Anyhow, it was right across the way from the stadium. Everything was right there by the airport. I remember I flew into Tampa. My hotel was like 5 minutes from the airport. The tennis facility was 5 minutes from the airport.
That's always nice.
Yeah, like the International Mall was right there, so it was pretty sweet. But yeah, it's singles. I'm not gonna lie, didn't play well. Thought I could find it, and thought I played some with Frank on Thursday. And felt good. And not gonna lie, just had 2 bad weeks, so all good. It can only make me tougher. But ended up losing to Jay. Jay played like a beast. Ended up beating me in 3, and then Jay ended up playing Zane in the winners bracket semi. Beat Zane in 3, and then played Ben in the finals. Lost 9 and 7. And Jay had no gas in the tank after that. I don't know if you saw that bronze medal match, but poor guy, the guy was in full body cramps and had nothing left in the tank. So it just comes to show that, yeah, I mean, in that type of temperature, leading up to the U.S. Open, like the fitness and the physicality of singles in Florida is very, very extreme, if you know what I mean.
Well, it's unique. I mean, let's face it. First year of of a tour,
right.
Pickleball is starting to get recognized more and more all the time as a legitimate sport. But the singles format is really, really tough. I mean, it's so physical to play the entire tournament in a day, especially as the draws get bigger and you start to have, it's not 16 people, there's 24 or 32. It's just a lot of matches. Credit to you, Ben, Zane, Jay. They're obviously doing a decent amount of off-court training just to be able to be out there all day. And Zane is pretty dang fit. He's definitely not the person I would want to play. I don't have any gas left in the tank.
Little wiry, squirrely sucker.
Not a lot of excess body fat on his build.
Yeah, guy is always moving. Ben ended up taking gold that day, as always. Simone battled. Simone ended up played Catherine. Yeah, played Catherine in the finals.
If I'm not mistaken, Catherine beat her in the winners bracket.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
And then Simone came back and beat her 2 out of 3, and then won the game to 15 as well.
Yeah. And she did that. She's probably 15 years older, battling in that heat. So kudos to her.
You wonder the dynamic there, because I know Catherine and Simone are such
tricky.
good friends.
Yeah,
I mean, it's challenging to give I find your best competitive self when you're, you know, good friends with your opponent, it's easier to tap into that drive when you don't like the person on the other side.
It's much easier. You know, she's kind of taking Catherine on as a project, or not as a project, but as a, you know, teaching project, and obviously she's probably looking to
train a lot together, I think,
to play with her in a couple of years. I would assume. I would assume she's probably like investing some extra time into her to, you know, have a more, you know, I mean, basically here in like a year or two, Catherine is going to be like a baby Simone. I mean, she already is, but she's going to be a much sharper, probably baby Simone, you know, in like a year or two.
Definitely has one of the prettiest games out there.
She
a lot of variety, a lot of ability.
She does for sure. Yeah, kudos to Ben and Simone. Taking a look at Gender Day. Crazy day. I mean, just like the PPA Phoenix tournament, 1 and 2 seeds lost early, got dumped into the basement, Riley and I, I'm not gonna lie, had to play the same stupid match against Ben and Colin in that 4th place match. It sucks. Like I swear,
sick of having to play them. When matches, it's not even a medal round. That's
two matches that suck is making it to a final and losing. Or it's making it to a 4th place and then losing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you're going to make it to the finals, you got to win it. If you're going to come all the way through and
you might as well get some hard work.
God, I mean, shoot. Anyhow, let's see. Ryan and I ended up losing to, got some revenge over Jay and Pat. Ended up beating them in 2 in the, winner's bracket quarter. Winner's bracket semi. Ended up playing Matt and Deke. Those guys played well. I'm not gonna lie, that's the first time that Riley and I have lost to Deacon in that setting, with Deacon being on the right. So that was kind of a hit to us, if you know what I mean. But Deacon played really well on the right. Matt obviously used his hands, was able to speed up and find offense when needed. Those guys battled all day.
Is that the first time they've partnered together?
That's the second time they played together. The first time was a Vegas tournament 2 years ago.
Definitely a difficult pairing if they do that again. I think they're tough group for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And talk about two guys in their 40s that won a tournament in hot extreme conditions. And so does age even matter? So yeah, Matt and Steve obviously ended up playing Adam and Deckel in the finals. Adam and Deckel, I believe this is the first time ever this has happened, but Adam and Deckel beat Colin and Ben twice in one day.
Wow.
Somebody's got to do it. And they were the team to do it. I'm not gonna lie, the communication between the Johns didn't look pleasant. If you know what I mean.
Gotcha.
I think there's
bound to happen, brothers.
Yeah,
right? I mean, all teams are gonna have that. I think brothers would have it more.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, people talk bad about Ben because he used to not be as courteous or as nice to Colin, but I mean, I don't know. The last couple of times they've played together, there was times where Colin's level wasn't great, and Ben, I felt like was totally there for him, picked him up, got him going again. Mm-hmm. I've seen both sides. I think Ben is definitely like maturing as a young adult, and so with that, I just believe he's taking care of his brother a bit better in that setting or under that umbrella. But I'm not gonna lie, in Tampa, I wouldn't say he treated him bad, but I think they're trying to. I think Ben's probably trying to make Colin a bit more accountable with being on the court and things of that nature. And I'm not gonna lie, if Colin doesn't believe that Ben believes in him, that team will never be good. So that plays a big part. But interesting dynamic. They obviously ended up taking bronze. And but Adam and Deckel, I'm not gonna lie, I did not see them beating them in that bronze medal match. I talked to Adam the next day, and Adam said that's the best match he's ever played. Granted, he was cramping in the winner's bracket final, and if you looked at that winner's bracket final, he was walking around like Frankenstein, and the guy had nothing in the tank. There was no gas,
and he still gets the job.
No gas, and he looked like crap against Deacon and Wright, and then he has like an hour and a half break. He didn't block any counter punches. Anytime that or I don't know if it was any time, but a large majority of the time when Ben came at him, he was guessing and slapping.
No way.
Yeah, oh yeah.
When he has a reputation, I mean, there's been more than one person who said, "Oh, best resets in the game, Adam Stone, some of the best resetters."
Yeah.
So for him to take that initiative to counter
for sure
against Ben is
we've given Adam a hard time.
Oh yeah.
What did he say that one time? That his counter punch is always there.
Oh yes. That's always there.
Yeah,
it's automatic.
We ended up having Adam on the early version of the McGuffin pickleball business. It was those half-ass episodes that we would put together on Facebook, and it would take Adam 20 minutes just to even try to log into the freaking live stream. And Adam played really well. That's what he said. So
he's pretty unique too. If you watch Adam, if you're a student of the game, don't watch Adam's ready position. He holds the paddle down at his waist, but he still has fast enough hands or good enough anticipation when he's attacked to still be here. But definitely teased him about that. But the hands were working.
Yeah, hands were definitely working. So yeah, on that given day, Deacon Wright won it. Stone and Barr ended up taking silver, and then Johns and Johns ended up taking bronze. Women's, Simone and Lucy came all the way through, and I don't know what the final score of the finals was. I know Catherine and Callie were in there. Was it a blowout?
I did not watch that one. I don't think it was particularly close, but if I'm wrong, Catherine and Callie, I'm sorry. I'm wrong if it was close. I apologize.
And who ended up taking bronze? I'm trying to think here. I know the Waters ended up losing in that 4th place match. Obviously, I played with Lee the next day. She told me all about it. Who did they lose to? I think they ended up losing to. It wasn't.
Was it like
it wasn't Jesse
like an Irina and Jesse or
maybe it was. Maybe it was.
I'm thinking it was, but we can look that up for sure.
And then mixed day. Let's see here. Ben and Simone actually played a tight winners bracket final. They were down like 8-10 in game 3 to Ben and or they were down 8-3. Or sorry, they were down 8-10 in game 3 to Matt and Lucy, and ended up winning 12-10 in game 3. Ben did Ben, if you know what I mean, in those late third games.
Terrible at the pressure points.
Yeah. Pressure is a privilege coming directly from Mr. Johns. But Lee and I were able to sneak away with a bronze. Let's see here.
It's a good field.
Beat a couple good teams. Yeah, we actually had to play Leia Jansen for the first time. Talking about Simone playing Catherine, kind of similar deal.
How'd you feel going into that one?
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of figured that Leia probably wasn't gonna play great against me. It's her first time playing me. She's kind of looked up to me. We've obviously spent a bunch of time with her game.
Right.
Like Leia, I've known Leia since I was 14 years old. I kind of had envisioned that her level. I mean, and she didn't play bad, but I could just tell she was a little reserved. The handcuffs were on. She just probably was more so looking at things that she didn't have control of, and just I guess wasn't as sharp. But bound to happen. I would say J-Dub probably could have done a bit more to help her out in that scenario. But we ended up beating them 9-7. And then lost to Matt and Lucy. To make it to the winners bracket final. And then battled all the way back through. Beat Catherine and Deacon. Beat Joey and Corinne in that 4th place match.
They had a good day. They had a real good day. Yeah.
In that 4th place match to get to the bronze. And then ended up losing to Matt and Lucy in the bronze. It was a good day. Good day. I would say Lee's probably starting to find her stride a bit better in mixed. Starting to really understand kind of that mixed role. I know her and Anna Lee are looking to get on that podium in women's. They obviously took 4th, just like Riley and I. God, it sucks taking 4th. They ended up taking 4th the last couple weeks. So like playing with the Waters, I have some stuff coming up with Anna Lee at the end of the year. The first half of the year I'm playing with Lee, and then the last half of the year I'm playing with Anna Lee. So
you haven't played with her yet, have you?
I have not.
Okay.
No, so should be in for a treat.
She doesn't have any talent.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Okay, so upcoming St. George PPA tournament. We're gonna talk about some podium predictions here. And I'm gonna pull up.
Look at those teams.
Yeah, pull up the teams here.
Kind of some unconventional or some new pairings.
For
right?
sure,
Some new
for
pairings
sure.
this
So
one.
let's see here. Take a look. We have. Let's see here. So Farius and Nunnery, it's a good team. The team's been playing together. Gabrielson and Lang, good team. Yeah. I'm playing with Mr. Dawson, Callan Dawson. Guy's a stud in that 3-point stance, getting work done, taking dinks out of the air. Actually, the last time that Callan and I played together was 2016 Nationals. It was my first national tournament, and I ended up taking silver in singles, and then played men's with Callan. We actually ended up taking a fourth. And at that given time in my career, I did not know how to play doubles. All I could do was just kind of sit in a little corner and hit. I had zero offense. I would just dink. I would hit liftings. I would take a step back and block. I could punch from time to time, but at that given time, I played uber safe. And it's kind of funny too, because Callan at that given time didn't have any offense either. So we made the day very difficult.
You just went for people's legs.
We literally just played every match and was so stupidly physical. So we are not going to take that. I mean, we're going to obviously play very physical, but not as physical.
You guys have some offense
for sure,
now.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Warnick and Wright, good team. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Loong and Yates, good team. Interesting.
I haven't seen that pair.
Yeah, Colin Johns and Adam Stone, interesting. Barr and Johns. I'm surprised Ben's not playing with Colin. Interesting. I don't know if there's something stirring up there. Spencer Smith and Ernesto. Johnny G. Rafa seems to tell me that him and Johnny G are gonna make a podium. I'm not gonna comment. But Rafa did play great today. I'm not gonna lie. The guy played very good today.
He did.
That's a good team. Tyler Wren, Mr. Wren. A long time since I've seen him. Tyler Wren, Michael Morgan, Ryan Cherry, Johnny Pick. So my men's podium predictions. I'm gonna throw Johns and Barr in there. I'm gonna. That's tough. Yeah, I'm gonna put Gabrielson and Lang in there, and then Dawson and I.
I like those picks.
A bunch of good teams.
I like those picks. I think the one to watch is going to be Warnick and Matt Wright. It could be wrong. It seems like both of those guys really like the left side, and they're both very dangerous from there. But I think whoever has to play the right is going to probably be a little bit more uncomfortable that day. And could be wrong. They could totally handle it fine. But it just seems like I'm always used to seeing each of them on the left. So great players, but there might be a little chemistry disconnect with that. But yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I like the picks. I like Wes and Lang to be kind of that sleeper team to fill in.
It's a good team for sure. Okay, so let's see here. Let's do all men's first, then we'll do women's. Okay, so singles, we got Sherry, Quinn, same usual suspects. Frank Anthony's coming to be physical, baby. Him and that new Pupio, or new
yeah, I'm going to try to say
new Pipio. Pee-pee. Yates, Barr, Loong, Johns, McGuffin.
Most of the usual suspects.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a weak field. I mean, gosh. I mean,
Sherry's there.
Give us some competition, okay?
Baby Curios.
Gabriel, Wes is not playing. Get out of here.
Is he listed?
Yeah. So there's is there Jay? Stop.
Is there no Jay?
Stop. No.
Well, because we didn't see Jay and Pat in the list, did we?
Interesting. Got it. So there's no Zane and there's no Jay. Okay. Interesting. I'm not gonna lose to those guys again. But I was hoping I was gonna get to play them. I can start that now. I'm gonna go Johns, myself, and Barr.
Oh, you stole mine.
Yeah,
I think Deckel's gonna be tough. I think I don't know St. George super
banging
well,
the serve.
It's gonna be a little
faster.
A little faster. I think his ball's gonna fly through the air a little bit more, and he's about as good of a ball striker and an imposing figure with the power in the men's singles game as you'll find.
For For sure. Okay. Let's take a look here.
I think warmer climates, maybe favor guys like Zane or maybe Ryan Sherry that gets a lot of bite and a lot of action on their ball. But I think colder temperatures, give me Deckel. I like his game.
For sure. Okay, so mixed. We got Irvine and Warnick. Obviously played well together last year. I don't believe have made the podium this year. Joy Lysing bringing it back. Eric Lang. Let's see here. Gabrielson and Susie Anderson. Franco Goldberg, Smith, McGuffin, Jardine Johns, Barr and Lung. I almost lost to Barr and Lung in Tampa. Not gonna lie, Susanna was eating us up. Credit to Susanna, she's playing great. I know you've always wanted me to give Susanna credit. We should have totally lost that match. She and I do give her credit. I do give her credit. Her game is a little unorthodox, but there's nothing wrong with that. And she deserves the freaking hustle award and the effort award. The girl is she's just a gamer.
I feel like, especially for mixed, I've had little side fringe debates with all the established pros about what people think of Susanna Barr. And I've always been pretty high
for sure.
on her, even though things are unconventional. I feel like she's a gamer. She comes to compete.
Yeah.
She plays her dinks with some pretty aggressive top spin.
For sure.
And she's got that put away power. She clubs the ball and can finish the point off.
Yeah. And I would say she pops a lot of balls up. But she does a great job of cleaning up her mess.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like,
and when I've played a couple times with her, and there've been more regional stuff where, for the most part, we weren't real challenged.
Right.
And it's a different level, at the highest level of the pro game with all the spin and the variety. It's a different animal. But I've been impressed. She's, I don't believe she was a super high level tennis player. I know she played, but it seems like maybe some other racket sports was her background. To break through as quickly as she has, she's not 22 either. She's in her 40s, I believe.
Yeah. So we Escabella Stone, Parento Deacon, Kovalova Wright. Let's see, Carr and Barr could make a little showing. Tereshchenko Dawson.
So you're playing with Callie?
Playing with Callie. Yeah.
Okay.
So 52-4, baby. You remember that? 52-4, not 53-3. 52.
Gonna give him loss number 5.
That's right. So my predictions. I'm gonna go. This is a little original. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go Jardim and James, or Jardim and Johns, Kovalova and Wright, and then myself and Callie Smith, who's a beast. Super excited to play with Callie. I think we have a couple more this year. We're maybe looking at potentially rock and rolling all together next year. But I have a couple of females that I'm talking to about that same spiel. It's kind of funny. Everybody's gearing up for next year. Text messages are going out.
For those of you who don't know the pro world for finding partners, and I'm just barely getting a taste for it.
Pain in the ass.
You have to plan your schedule almost 2 years out. It seems like there's a small group of proven pros, I guess, if you will, and it's crazy how early and for how long people commit to each other. But it's kind of just the way it is.
Yeah,
if you don't play the game, you're the person who gets left out scrambling a little bit. So
for example, I'm looking to book my men's and my mixed partner probably like this April.
Yeah.
Leading up for next year. It's like
for 2000.
Well, and it's tough too. It's like we should probably wait around and see what the results are for the year. But it's like, gosh, anytime after June, people are partnering up, and there's not a whole lot left, and so you kind of just have to trust the idea of, hey, if you're in the top and you're playing well and there's some chemistry and we feel like there's upside, let's make it work. Let's book early. But it's tough. Your predictions?
So I'm going to throw in. I'm going go with the same team. I'm going to throw in a sleeper team though. Okay. I think that Deacon and Catherine.
Yeah,
they just played. They probably underperformed maybe a little bit for
Deacon
their
was
potential.
pretty beat up.
Was
after
he retired after
men's?
men's? Okay. I just saw the scores. I think they might sneak in there and
sure.
make the podium there.
It's a good team. Yep. Podium Deacon. or what was it? Was it Podium?
Podium Steve.
Podium Steve.
Podium Steve.
By Mr. Stone.
Right. Maybe we should give Steve a shout out. He did make the podium in men's, but he had a different position on that podium.
He did.
We razz him.
He's
been the podium 93% of the time, but usually isn't that gold, and got the job done. So
yeah,
good job for him.
Guy's a stud, man, for sure. Happy for him. Okay, women's singles. I'm not gonna lie, the draw's a little small.
Not the same size of draw.
Jardine, Barr, Esquivel, Parento, Terrace. Where are the females at? Where are they at? Are they sleeping on singles day or what?
I don't know.
What the heck is going on
That's
here?
too bad. Yeah, you'd like to see some more depth in there.
Okay, we're always throwing in our girl. Gonna throw in Leia.
Heck yeah.
Gonna throw in Esquivel and Jardine. I think Terashenko is I got Catherine in there too, man. It's tough.
Yeah, it is tough.
I'm gonna throw four: Jardine, Esquivel, Parento, and Jansen. It's tough.
All right. Throw me Irina. I'll go with Irina.
Okay.
So I'll do Irina, Leia, and Simone.
Yep. Okay. Let's take a look at women's dubs here. Seniors, I'm sorry, we have not gotten to your podium predictions. It's gonna be episode 20. Okay, let's see here. So Irvine and Parento, women's Lysing and Anderson. David and Whitwell. Yeah, it's Callie Smith and Cal Smith and Terashenko. It's a new pairing. Barr and Esquivel. Not gonna lie, they did not look like they were having fun in Tampa.
So this could be a little
carryover. I mean,
knows?
I just I've got respect for both girls. It just didn't seem like when they were playing together. At that given time, they were just not having fun.
It's tough finding the right fit for a doubles partner.
It is.
I'm just hearing whispers of different things. I won't say any names, but
Sprinkles.
There was a pro. Well, I guess I won't say if it's men's or women's. A pro team that was going to be in a recent tournament. They made it all the way to the finals, and I think it was the first time they played together. And one of the people, I'm just hearing a rumor, one of the people who, so they lost in the finals, one of the people on that team was already starting to look for different partners going forward because they just didn't feel like it was comfortable, even though they made the finals, right? So it's tough. It's tough to be completely happy. You're always looking for a certain thing, but honestly, I think for a lot of us that are competitors, let's be honest, like, it's hard to stomach that it might be you out there. It's hard to stomach that it might be more your fault than you want to let on. Sure. So it's always kind of a grass is always greener with the partnership change around. But I think it's healthy and good for the game to see some different groups. So who you got? Who are your three here?
Jardine, Kovalova. Smith and Terashenko, and then probably Stratman and Jansen. I'm
gonna go with the same three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, obviously Irvine and
Parento. Yeah.
Parento would be a very capable team, but I would go with the same three. I think Lauren and Leia to me right now, and we'll see how it goes. But we know Leia well. It just feels like knowing Lauren not that well, but just kind of getting a sense of her fire. They seem very hungry. They really want to make a statement and have a few more of those breakthrough tournaments.
Okay, so something new in the rule book, or actually it's not new. They used to have it in the rule book, and then they took it out for a year or two. But obviously the USA Pickleball is trying to make the game easier. With the new drop serve. They're trying to make it more cooperative for lower level players, and I would assume that with this new rule change, they're obviously understanding that scoring is difficult, and with the double elimination format, it's a long freaking day, and so you shouldn't have teams, losing points or losing like the ability to serve because they didn't line up on the correct side. So something that is going to help myself. Kyle's not going to tell you the backstory because it would ruin me. and something that's going to help the Newmans because they have no idea what they're doing, and something that's going to help Marcin Rosbecki, the Polish monster, once he gets back playing, is that you can ask the referee if you're on the correct side, and you can ask if you're the correct server. So something that I saw in Tampa and in Phoenix is pro players. I'm gonna say that again. Pro players are still lining up on the wrong stupid side. They're not even asking questions. Makes no fucking sense.
Use the ref.
Sorry, makes no sense at all. 0 sense. I mean, use and abuse the ref. I mean, they are there not to be abused, but I mean, don't be afraid to ask questions. You know?
So you like the rule change? You're a fan?
Yeah, I mean, like with this game at lower levels being tougher to score than it is to play, it would make sense that they only simplify the scoring format.
Well, and one of the jokes, the inner jokes within pickleball is, what's the score, right? It's so easy to, after a long point, to not remember who was serving, what the score was, and all that. And yes, you've been able to ask who the correct server is, but for those of us who maybe just aren't as sharp, I'm in the heat of battle. You're thinking about, well, who the first server was, even, odd, and it's just you've got enough other stuff going through your mind.
Sure, right.
I don't want to win a point by a team lining up on the wrong side. The competitor in me doesn't really want to win a point that way, and I certainly don't want to lose it lining up on the wrong side. In fact, quick story, I think we're at WPC, and Leia and JW were playing Callan and Simone.
It was 9-9.
And I think it was 10-9, but it was match point. Super close. It was in the third game, and if I'm not mistaken, they lined up on the wrong side. Serve, ref denounced it, and that was the match. And I don't think Simone didn't want to win that way. Callan didn't want to win that way. So it was just an uncomfortable situation for everybody. So I think it's for the better.
Guess what Leia and J-Dub did against us in Tampa?
Uh-oh.
It's the same thing.
Oh, no.
The same thing. And J-Dub's a very educated kid. He's a smart kid.
You've got a lot going through your mind.
So it comes to show, it's tough, like, as the day goes on, and if you've played a couple matches and it's hot, maybe you're in a medal match and you're trying to talk on middle balls and you have all this stuff going on, I'm not going to lie. Understanding where you should stand and all that stuff, it's difficult.
You and Riley have been dinged
a couple times.
Yeah.
God, just complete bozos. But at the end of the day, it's just with how many variables and what's taking place on the court, it's nice to be able to use that and ask the ref and line up on the correct side and I guess feel comfortable with that. So
I'm sure I'm a fan. I think it's a good change.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to ask the ref if you're on the correct side and if you're the correct server. Mr. McKenzie, give us your instructional piece or your instructional nugget.
All right. So little technique, body positioning technique, coaching tip. One thing that I've noticed with my students in clinics or private lessons, for a lot of us, we feel like we're a lot lower than we are. We feel like we're using our legs a lot more than we actually are. When I know for me, the first time I saw myself on film, I was like, man, I need to be 2 or 3 inches lower pretty consistently. But I think it's hard to be able to monitor that when you're in the heat of battle and you're not looking at a camera. You're just you're in it yourself. And so one way of not just thinking about being lower, but one way of kind of helping that is think about keeping your back straight. A lot of times when people, even if they are low, they're leaning forward and then they really struggle with balls near their feet, because when you start bending at the waist, you tend to continue to bend at the waist and it gets worse and worse. You get a little bit more off balance. So especially as you're in transition, as you're up at the kitchen line, think about keeping your back straight. That will inherently make you do more activity with your legs and not just hunching over. And so there's a couple different ways that I think it'll benefit you. One, it's like I said, it puts you in a better position to be able to get under the ball and lift a little bit better. Mm-hmm. I've also seen people fall into kind of the I call it like the teapot position, where one of their shoulders dips way down as they're hitting a push stink, and then when they come up, the ball sails and kind of catches a little bit too much air. So keeping that back straight, keeping those shoulders even, and it will normally put you in a much better position, whether it be a defensive dink or an offensive dink or just some way of neutralizing and getting in.
I like it. A term that we use is find your most athletic self. Whether that's inside shoulder width with your stance, maybe it's right at shoulder width, or maybe it's a tad bit wider. Like the idea of keeping your back straight, having less going on, less than go wrong. Another phrase that we use that helps you really stay upright and keep your upper extremities quiet is a beverage of choice being in your non-dominant, or a bowl being on top of your head.
Yep.
So take a look at some of the best players in the world. It looks effortless, looks clean. There's not added variables with kinks with too much activity with lower or upper. So my nugget's gonna be so I used to use the term taking bait or getting overextended, but I'm not gonna lie, I've been stuck on this phrase of chasing trash. I'm not gonna lie, I like it a lot.
You're sticking with the trash.
I do, and I think it can be used in a wide range of areas.
It resonates probably a little bit with people too.
Yeah.
They remember it.
And I'm not gonna lie. So I when I first heard this, it was used by an individual of the name of DJ Howard. So DJ, giving you a little shout out, brother. But a DJ would use the term chasing trash as people were hitting drops. If it's a high drop and you're not looking at ball trajectory, or you're not gauging where the drop is going, or you're not looking to see where your opponent's making contact with their fourth, and you're just running in and you're taking the brave route, that is called chasing trash. Another example of chasing trash would be you're at the kitchen line and you're leaning in, and I guess that this could be used at the kitchen line, or it could be used in the transition zone if you don't recognize how much time you have. But essentially, it's just getting overextended, not recognizing how much time you have, and taking the bait or chasing trash or taking a dink out of the air that puts you in a position where you're not very balanced and your back is definitely not upright. It's far from upright.
Bending at the waist.
Yeah, right. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is that you have more time than you think as somebody's hitting a drop and you're leaning in and maybe you're looking to hit a roll volley. You've got to ask yourself, am I hitting this roll volley from my red zone, or am I overextended to the point where I have no sort of play or no sort of offense because I'm overextended? If that's the case, we use the term you can take a step back to create some offense. So instead of chasing trash or taking the bait or getting overextended or chasing stuff out here, you could take a step back, let the ball sit up a little higher, and then now deal with a ball that is up in yellow. You can use a modified ground stroke. Plain and simple, you can just do more damage by recognizing that you have more time, and by not chasing trash and taking a little step back.
Well, I think like you said, it's kind of under the umbrella, and for a lot of people, this is a light bulb moment, that sometimes your best form of offense is not for a ball out of the air, right? It's to allow it to bounce and sit up because you can take it at a higher point. So we want to be able to understand the shape of the ball when we choose whether it makes sense to try to be eager and take it out of the air, or maybe playing the patient route, letting it bounce and sit up a little higher is the better way to go.
And when the wind is at your back, I think that's a great time. When it's windy and it's at your back, that's a great time to let more balls bounce. When you feel like it's like running away from you, whether it's a dink or or you're in the transition zone. Plain and simple, when it's windy and the wind's at your back, it would make sense to let more balls bounce because you're going to find yourself like chasing a lot of trash.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. We need to do a segment on just like in the wind.
Yeah, ball's going to be running. Yeah, if you feel like the ball's running away from you, let the freaking ball bounce.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Okay, want to thank all of our sponsors this week. Okay, guys, so make sure to like, subscribe, and turn those notifications on, and subscribe to the McGuffin Pickleball Club. We got lots of good stuff coming, instructional videos, and new podcast episodes. So in closing here, next episode, episode 13, we will be talking about PPA results from St. George, new YouTube content, camp news. Check in with the professor here, see what he's doing. We have some fun stuff taking place in North Idaho. We're now subcontracting programming at different facilities. Kyle's leading all that stuff, so kind of fun. We're going to have some more programming kind of through the Parks and Rec of Coeur d'Alene this summer. So getting all that stuff mapped out. Make sure, if you guys want to check out Coeur d'Alene, we have 2 camps this summer, June 4th through the 6th. Open to all levels. You can go to TysonMcGuffin.com to get signed up, or even better, there's a Coeur d'Alene tournament. The Coeur d'Alene tournament is like the big Selkirk tournament that needs to be named after me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't listen to me. So the Selkirk tournament is July 9th through the 11th. So you can come for the tournament. No, you cannot stay at my house. And then we have a camp on that Monday, Tuesday. But know that the Monday of the camp, we will have dinner at my house.
There you go.
And as a cool, very, very cool time. So,
yeah, and if you don't know Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, this really is a destination for a vacation. I would absolutely recommend playing the tournament, taking the camp, just enjoying some of the outdoor activities. Lake Coeur d'Alene is absolutely beautiful, so not much of a better option for a beautiful place to play some pickleball.
Kyle, any last notes here for the viewers?
No, man. Just thanks for having me. Excited to have our new setup here, and excited to go down to St. George. I'm not going to be playing, but I will try to do a little bit of coaching, and excited to root on my friends.
I want to say awesome job with being on the left today. Felt like you were able to use your inside out forehanding well. You closed on middle balls. You're able to really cover 60% of the court. Have me slide over.
You managed your sliver well. You managed your sliver well.
It felt like I earned well on the right. And
you played your role, but clearly this was my
slide over Tyson and cover 30% of the court, buddy. Anyhow, want to thank all of our viewers this week, and make sure you guys tune in each week and like and subscribe. Last note here, stay classy, my friends. My name is Tyson McGuffin, and thank you for watching The McGuffin Show.